Consulting recruiting timelines have moved up and up and up over the years. And in fact, earlier recruiting is becoming more and more important. For example, at the MBA level, we've seen in recent years that firms don't hire second years at all. Well, where are all of their candidates coming from, and how can you be one of them? That's what this episode is all about. If you're starting an MBA soon, prepping for consulting can't wait until your first day on campus. In fact, many students begin to prepare before they even hear back from the schools that they're likely to go to. Why is it so important to prepare early? Well, one of the key reasons, other than just being ahead of the rest, is that there are consulting pre-MBA internships. And today, in this episode, we're going to talk about what they are, who they're for, and how to get one. Why do consulting firms have pre-MBA programs? Well, first of all, they understand that they're competing for some of the best talent in the world, and they're not the only ones in the game. There are finance firms, corporates, tech firms, other organizations that are pursuing these top talented individuals. And if they're late to the party, they're not going to be in the mix. So consulting firms have created a pre-MBA internship program to find and source the best talent before they even arrive on campus. In addition, pre-MBA programs enable some people to get exposure to the firms before they land up on campus. This has helped firms that didn't have a lot of sponsorship into MBA programs create a higher profile for themselves on campus because students have a great experience in the summer. They show up with their peers. They talk about that amazing experience, and that greases the wheels for an amazing pipeline for the rest of the talent year. Second, what are consulting pre-MBA programs? Well, I'm super glad that you asked. They usually take place in the summer before you begin your MBA. And in that time, you'll do anything from 1 week to multiple weeks on an actual project or just a simulation. Usually, they're virtual. You're not in the office, and it's not quite as rigorous as a full-time internship. It's a taster for you and for the firm to see and experience what life for you inside the organization would be like. However, one thing that you do need to know is that you'll need to be an accepted applicant into one of the core schools that the firms target in order to be eligible for these pre-MBA programs. However, like many programs that the firms run, they all have their own criteria, their own conditions, and their own applications. Speaking of eligibility, once you're targeted by these firms, they will determine whether they also want to add on additional conditions. So on top of being accepted into a top program, and that's your first mission, the second thing that you'll want to do is make sure that you fit the criteria. Sometimes they'll look for DEI candidates, women or Black or African American or different DEI groups that they're targeting. And sometimes they'll look for geography. They'll look for people that are only interested in Asia Pacific or LATAM. So knowing what the target of that specific firm is in a season will determine whether or not you're eligible. So who even hosts these pre-MBA programs? Well, most firms have 2 versions, and you are eligible for one or both. The first version is a taste and see, a little snack of the firm, and often they're in webinar format. The second type are diversity programs, which are usually in person, on site, and also a lot more both rigorous and fun. First, there's Experience Bain, which is their traditional pre-MBA program, and Bain also has a diversity program called BASE, Building and Supporting Excellence, their BASE Scholars Program. For BCG, they have 2 programs as well, BCG Unlock and their diversity program, which is called BCG Empower. For McKinsey, there's the McKinsey Early Access Program, as well as their diversity program called McKinsey Inspire. In addition, LEK, Deloitte, Kearney, Accenture, and more firms also have pre-MBA programs. In fact, the first that we know about was the Deloitte program. So as firms have begun to do these, many other firms have followed and will follow in the future. Finally, let's talk about deadlines. At Management Consulted, we've got all of your deadlines covered. So make sure that you click on the link in the show notes if you want to know the updated deadlines for these programs and more. But just in case you're wondering when they generally fall, most of these applications fall between mid-April and mid-May. And those two barriers are there for a reason, because you will have received your acceptances from the schools that are targeted by this program, and you also will have had a choice to decide where you personally will go. But it gives you enough time to on-ramp before the summer begins. Look, I'll be honest with you. If you get a chance to go to one of these pre-MBA programs, it's probably the best return on investment for your entire MBA. So get into the pack early, make sure that you stand out, and get ready to be a part of the most incredible organizations that you'll find on the planet.